Hola guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. I apologize if you hear some background kind of buzzing. It is pretty chilly and I have the space heater on, so if you hear that, I do apologize. So today I wanted to make a pretty quick video where I talk to you guys about the books that I plan to read for Nonfiction November. Nonfiction November is probably with the exception of like the time of Latinx Heritage Month, it's my favorite sort of reading event that occurs. It is hosted by Olive over at A Book Olive, as well as a team of co-hosts that she has each year, and I'll link all of their information down below. It lasts through the whole month of November, and basically all they want is for you to read more nonfiction than you normally would. So that could be as little as one nonfiction during the month of November, or all you read in the month of November is nonfiction. I always look forward to it at this time of year. I always find some really amazing reads, and yeah, I just can't wait to talk to you guys about the books that I would like to read for this month. Every year they come up with a couple of sort of keywords to help guide in your reading should you need it. You certainly do not have to follow them, but it's just to give you a sense of direction if you're a little bit lost, or if you enjoy the sort of fun thematic nature of it, or if you make it a little bit of a competition with yourself to make sure that you can hit every keyword. It's just like another fun element that you really don't have to follow. This is a really laid back reading event. The 4 keywords for this year are time, movement, buzz, and discovery. And so for the first one of time, I'm taking that to mean sort of history. So I have here A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn, and this, I believe, goes from like the Christopher Columbus through President Clinton's first term. So this is a pretty popular history book. I had it as a history book for a high school class myself. I didn't read it like I was supposed to, but it's known for being a fair depiction of our history. And so yeah, I'm very excited. It's a little bit of a chunky one, but I believe that there is an audiobook for it that I can read alongside to help me get through this a little bit more quickly. Then for time, a second option that I have that I don't physically own, I always want to prioritize. This year I really wanted to prioritize books that I currently own, but if I finish that one and want to pick up another one for another option that I have for myself for time is Smoke It's in Your Eye and Other Lessons from the Crematorium by from the crematory by Caitlin Doty. And Caitlin Doty is a YouTuber, and she owns her own funeral home, and she's always been a sort of death advocate, and she wants to advocate for death positivity and change the perception of that time in someone's life, change the way that we view it, make it a positive an experience as it can be. Obviously it's a very trying, very difficult, very hard time, but she wants to educate people and make it easier for us to talk to, because in her eyes, and I tend to believe and I tend to agree with her, it is made more difficult by the fact that so many of us are so unwilling to think of that or to discuss it, and it can be a much more difficult time than maybe it needs to be if we would just communicate more about it within our families, within, between friends, etc. So this is one where, when your time is up, so I might read that one as well. For movement, I have Down These Mean Streets by Piri Thomas. This is a memoir about a Spanish Harlem teenager and their time, I believe, being part of drugs and perhaps gangs. I don't know much about it. I know it's just about a Puerto Rican kid who grew up in Spanish Harlem and their time there. I got this at the Strand. Did I get this at the Strand, really? Oh yeah, it was on sale. Very cool. For buzz, I'm going for a book that had a lot of buzz when it came out, which I believe was last year. And the author is a Pulitzer Prize winner, and that is Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow. Lies, Spies, and a Conspiracy to Protect Predators. And this all talks about the Harvey Weinstein situation, scandal, everything that had to do with how we handle those types of stories. I think they go into just the way in which we cover these stories, the bias that is implicit sometimes when we're dealing with individuals who have a lot of power, a lot of money. So yeah, this is one that I haven't really wanted to hear a lot of information about, because I wanted to be able to go into it, again, knowing as little as possible. But I have heard, the things that I have heard about it are very good, so I'm very excited. I think it'll be a sad but powerful and necessary read. For discovery, I have Fantasy Island, Colonialism, Exploitation, and the Betrayal of Puerto Rico by Ed Morales. And so, as we may know, colonizers like to view their actions as discovery and betterment, etc. So that's why I chose this one. So yeah, this is another sort of, this could also work for time, I guess, for history. But yes, I am very excited. I got this one, I believe it was last year when it came out, and I've been wanting to read it very much ever since then. Oh, another one that I forgot to talk about. For movement, I have a second option as well. Again, I don't own it physically, so I'm not going to make it a priority, but if I have time. And it is Spirit Run, a 6,000-mile marathon through North America's stolen land by Noé Alvarez. And this is about his growing up in Yakima, Washington. Noé Alvarez worked at an apple packing plant alongside his mother, who slouched over conveyor belts of fruit, shoulder to shoulder with mothers conditioned to believe this was all they could do with their lives. At 19, he learned about Native American First Nations movement called the Peace and Dignity Journeys, epic marathons meant to renew cultural connections across North America. Telling their stories alongside his own, Alvarez writes about a 4-month-long journey from Canada to Guatemala that pushed him to his limits. So yeah, this one's a very sort of another kind of literal interpretation of the word, but it is one that I've heard really, really great things about. And again, it's a diverse read, so I really wanted to read it if I can. Definitely will. It's in the back of my mind. If I don't get to it at this month, I will at some point. So those are the books that I intend to prioritize in the month of November. I hope that you will join us. I hope that I'll be able to see all of your TBRs and vlogs and wrap-ups and all of that. As always, thank you for watching and for listening. If you'd like to connect with me elsewhere, I do have all of my social media down in the description bar as well. And yeah, have fun. Happy November. I love you guys.